everybody, and welcome to the Ask GaryVee show, episode 333, as we are now here in 2022. My man Seth is gonna ask the questions. This is an NFT edition. First, I just wanna say thank you to everybody for all the interactions, the DMs, the comments, the incredible amount of chatter in the VeeFriends Discord, on Twitter these days, Instagram DMs, TikTok, and everything else, the community, the 212-931-5731 text platform. It just feels incredibly special to be at the halfway point of my life and be in this place. And obviously the NFT thing, so many questions. And I thought, you know what? It's time to bring back the Ask GaryVee show anyway. Except the last time we did it was February 2020, so 2 years. So we're looking to get this back regularly, so let's get into the show.
Chris Lynham asks, would you treat minting a project the same way as you would with content creation? Just do it, even if it isn't fancy, with hostage lighting if that's what it takes? Or would you be more methodical?
So should we shit out more useless JPEGs associated with numbers on the blockchain into the universe whilst using more energy for nothing? Is the question.
That's a great question. You know, VeeFriends famously gets shit on because my art doodling skills are not.
Oh my god, he sells NFTs of these? My fucking god. How much do people pay for this? How much are people paying for his fucking kindergarten drawings of fucking animals? Nick says, if someone makes an NFT of the sun, you don't have to wait until nighttime to touch the NFT, just saying. Gregory Term says, you seemed like the previous D&D map I posted, so here's my latest one. Oh, nice. I like interiors a lot. A lot of D&D maps, I'm saving it right now, sorry. Give me a second while I save this. I like interior maps that also have exteriors. I don't feel like there's a ton of those. It's either usually exterior or interior, but I like that you kind of took the roofs off so you can kind of go inside or outside. Gives a lot of options. I like that. Tucker White says, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, I think it's time we as a nation have a serious conversation about doing the following. Florida.
That does it. South America, take it away.
If it's feasible, let's go for it. Renania Owl says, yeah, the internet did change the world. Jury is still kind of split on if it's for the better or worse. NFTs sure aren't helping. Princess Amelia says, remember all the inventions that changed everything? Yeah, remember the massively greater number that didn't? No, that's called survivorship bias. Rageology says, short version, politicians used road improvement measures to remove black neighborhoods and paid money to companies they had links to remove the cemeteries. They pocketed the money and just moved the headstones and left the graves themselves to be paved over. That's disgusting.
What people consider phenomenal. I argue that Andy Warhol and Jackson Pollock were considered shit too, and that the
oh my god,
storytelling and the narrative, art is in the eye of the beholder. You know, the standards of the projects that are coming out right now are incredibly beautiful, both from one of one.
Here's the difference. With Warhol and Pollock, generally speaking, they had something to say with their art that happened outside of the commercial sense. They actually had a viewpoint outside of just, I want to sell this to make money. I do not care what the content of it is. Whereas NFT projects, as they stand right now, are entirely based on a cynical, what can we make collectible? How do we make money off of this? In your case, you take 5 minutes and doodle any bullshit, and then you sell it. And that is what you're doing. And it's not because you're making a commentary on the vacuous nature of modern art or NFTs. You're not doing it ironically or to make a statement. You are doing it because you are an asshole who wants to get money from other assholes. Jesus Christ.
Artists and incredible graphic designers in the Web3 realm on the generative and non-generative projects. There's these
Bittergrin says also, if a traditional artist makes shit, they waste one canvas, not the environment. True.
different projects that are not just like a beautiful image of an animal with like just rad. They're just unique. They're a little bit different. You can win on stick figures. You can win on dots. Damien Hirst is dots. I think what matters is you can't think of NFT projects the way of social media because an NFT project is the thing. I think of
It's not. Nerdy Owl says the only art they're making is con art.
friends like I think of GaryVee, not the way I think of a single post on TikTok. This is your whole reputation on the line. Like, what are you gonna abandon it when it didn't do well? So for all the people that paid $500 for an NFT and now it's zero, you're just gonna go on to the next thing? That's what
I mean, that's a very common practice. It's so common there's a name for it. It's called a rug pull. It happens all the time in NFTs. What are you talking about? In crypto in general.
pretty different than putting out a piece of content that might have not done well. That didn't cost anything to anybody on the other side. I'm in a really tough spot now. People are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars on the secondary market. I feel pressure. I'm gonna spend the next 45 years of my career trying to make sure there's demand on these original tokens.
Jesus Christ, I hope this NFT shit doesn't keep going for another 45 years.
So yes, you should just do it, but you should do it because you want to do it for the next decade. Make it your Sesame Street, make it your Pokemon, make it your Hello Kitty, make it your Cabbage Patch Kid, make it your Raggedy Ann. Those are all super iconic things.
Okay, some of these things are not like the others. Some of these things were, again, cynical corporate products like Cabbage Patch Kids. Sesame Street was a genuine labor of love by PBS and the people who worked on it, the Jim Henson Studios and people associated with it, in order to try and teach kids actual lessons about how to read and count and things like that. Comparing them to Cabbage Patch Kids just kind of pisses me off, and once again illustrates, I think, that people like this can only view things through the lens of their commercial purposes and how much product you can sell using these things, and not any actual utility or passion, reason involved in making something outside of how do I make money with this thing? Fucking assholes. That XY girl says the world's going to be fucked within the next 45 years, Hannah. It's fucked now. Electric Yodi says, holy shit, my first live stream I've been watching on YouTube for almost a year. I'm glad you can make it.
Like, make an NFT project your life's work and watch it pay you back tenfold. Excuse me. So, yes and no. Sorry, guys. Go ahead. Keep that in, no editing.
Jason Landry asks, so the question is, how does one invest in the NFT space without buying images that you've said will eventually go to zero?
That is impossible. It is a gamble because it is literally a fucking Ponzi scheme. You are literally buying it with the hope that some other idiot will come in and buy it. The thing about greater fool scams is sometimes you're the greatest fool. There isn't always someone stupider than you to come along and buy your investment that's worth nothing. So there is no guarantee that you will come in and buy something and that someone else will be even stupider and buy it from you at a higher price. Dr. Gamble with 50 bits.
We've got to have money.
I also find it funny that this question, once again, serves to illustrate that the NFT market has nothing to do with technology or art or liking the art. It has everything to do with the fact that this person views it as a thing to make money. This guy is not concerned with, how do I buy an NFT that I really like and brings utility or joy to my life, and the fact that I enjoy the artwork associated with that particular part of the blockchain. It's, how do I buy in such a way that I make sure I'm not the greatest fool? Why would this even be an issue if you just liked the art? Shouldn't be. Seems like you just want to make a quick buck. Don't get into NFTs then, or else you're going to lose all your money.
Well, look, I'm incredibly concerned that
I did see Futurama's coming back, yes.
98%.
That show's been canceled more times than Joe Rogan? Is that a joke? I don't know. Seriously, Futurama's been canceled like 5 times, though. And now it's back again. Hopefully it's good.
of projects are going to zero. So how do you do that? You don't know. I don't know. I've bought many collectibles that haven't done it well, and I've got a good track record of doing well. My good track record is I wait for 30.
Yeah, they're bringing it back on Hulu. Hulu ordered 20 episodes of a new season.
30 or 60 days to watch something, or sometimes 2-3 years. I watched sports cards for a year before I decided to say, I think it's about to explode. So I think that you have to watch things. I think too many people try to mint.
Same voice actors. The only one who's still working on a contract right now is Joe DiMaggio, who does, or is it Joe? Not Joe DiMaggio. What is his name? Something DiMaggio. The voice of Bender. He's not gonna do it, but they're just in the middle of contract negotiations with him, but everyone else is in.
At the lowest cost.
John DiMaggio, thank you.
But then you're
Joe DiMaggio's the baseball guy,
completely gambling.
I think.
Whereas if you watch something for a month or two and you go into the Discord, you go into the Twitter, you follow the founders religiously and see what she or he is up to, are they, like, can you get a sense, intuition, that they're about this life, that this is what they're gonna do?
Again, none of this has to do with the fundamentals whatsoever, because there are no fundamentals to NFTs. They don't exist. There are no fundamentals to the NFT as an investment as it currently stands, because there's no there. There's nothing worth anything.
Then you can kind of go all in. It's a guessing game on Mint. How to buy one? I think watching the market and jumping in and paying double or triple the Mint, AKA to put it in US dollars instead of Ethereum, paying $900 instead of $300, but you've seen the steam, you see the passion in the community, you see them not there to just flip, they want to hold, they want to be part of the narrative of developing this lizard or this unicorn or the wizards or the game or the small brains. Like, if they're there for it, you see what we call diamond hands. There's people there to hold, not to just flip, because they
Diamond hands. They're unironically doing the diamond hands thing still.
you're just stuck. If
You didn't miss the Crypto Land thing now.
everyone's there to flip, well then it can collapse like Beanie Babies. But if it's iconic, like stuffed
He said it. He said the Beanie Babies thing.
animals, stiff bears, for hundreds of years. So you gotta look for, people buy a stiff to put on their shelf and look at for 50 years. People bought Beanie Babies because they thought they'd buy it for 5 and sell it for 15.
Which is exactly what NFTs are.
Right now, that's what's happening in NFT land, which is why so many are gonna collapse. The only way to avoid that is to watch the people that are in it for life.
What is fundamentally different between an NFT that gets rug pulled or goes to zero and an NFT project that is currently stable? There is no difference. The only difference is some scams hold up better than others. There is no fundamental difference between the scams that are doing well and the ones that are doing bad. They're the same. It's entirely in the marketing. It's just marketing for the sake of marketing to pull people in. It's not a thing.
I'm in it for life, and I think others are too, and that's why I'm looking for it.
Star Striker asks, what do you think is the biggest weakness in the NFT space right now and in the near future?
The fact that they're worthless and ugly.
I think the biggest weakness is greed. I mean, we used to talk about provenance in this space. We used to talk about, like how it would change, the way we interacted. But right now it's just a complete tornado of day trading. What happened with internet stocks? At first we're like the internet, and like internet companies were evaluated very specifically, and then everybody started day trading because the internet came out itself and internet stocks were there. And that's because they were trading on it without fundamentals. Right now we have people.
Again, what are the fundamentals of NFTs? Renandy Owl says the biggest weakness? Reality.
Buying $20,000 pictures that they own. I don't think it's right click and save and all that bullshit.
You gonna elaborate on how that's bullshit? I can go to an NFT page and fucking click it on own the picture. It'll be on my hard drive. I'll have it. How is that any different? It's not.
They own it. The problem is I don't think the founders are going to be
He's muffled and hard to understand. I can turn him up.
able to keep up demand for 20 years. Thus, they'll go down. And I think that's 98% of the projects. The biggest vulnerability is greed and lack of creativity. Everybody saw Bored Ape and Punks and just copied it. Now it's Laughing Llama and silly swans and charming chairs and all the same shit. There'll be a ton of carnage. The shit will hit the fan and I'll get blamed and I'm gonna be like, fuck man, I made 100 trillion videos saying 98% are gonna fail. This is
If 98% of the market is going to fail, maybe the market is shit. And frankly, I think 98% is being generous on your part. Why would 2% still stick around? There's no fundamental difference between Lazy Lions and Bored Apes and any of these other ones. There's no difference, except there's more interest in these projects but they're doing the same thing. Rachology says, I'll give NFT imagery this. Like some art, they do embody a zeitgeist and are worth being archived for their historical value. It's going to be a very cheap process to preserve them, and they are non-physical and infinitely replaceable, and all a museum will have to do is right-click to compile a complete collection, endless screaming. I do think NFTs will be an interesting thing to look back on in 20 or 30 years. And people will be like, that was a thing people did? And they'll be like, yeah. I know, it's stupid. We thought it was stupid then too. I almost feel like someday NFT could theoretically replace like tulips as sort of a shorthand idiom for bad investments and speculative bubbles. Narnania Owl says, oh right, no, that's the biggest weakness, right click.
Internet stocks, and I'll still get blamed. See, GaryVee, it was a scam, it was a fad. It's not. NFTs are here forever. For the rest of my life, I will die, and they'll still be a major factor in our society, just like the internet, because they're functional, they're contracts, there's so much you can do with it. But the supply of garbage is real, and the cost of entry is low, and I think that's up.
The cost of entry is not that low, unless you're gonna buy a piece of shit. They're all pieces of shit, but I just mean, at least within, like if you buy a Lazy Lion or one of the Bored Apes or something, there's a higher chance you'll find a greater fool to sell that to. I don't think you should, because I think it's all a scam and a Ponzi scheme, effectively, and I don't think that's a good thing to get into, even if you think you're going to profit. I just think it's immoral. That's why I would never get into it. I don't think that's cool. But, at minimum, you have the capacity to scam someone else into buying your useless lion picture or whatever. If you go and you buy one that no one's ever heard of, no one's going to want to buy it from you, and then you're just out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's not a thing worth investing in, because it's not an investment, it's a gamble. Zero V Streaming says, hey Hannah, decided to come over here from Jake's stream. The guys debating won't let Jake get one word in, and I'd rather watch you slowly lose your mind. Well, thank you.
RY_Z asks, I resell for a living, mostly on eBay, sports cards, Pokemon cards, and different types of media. How can I leverage blockchain technology and add NFTs into my business?
Soon, I believe that people are going to take physical goods.
So you're going to say they're going to take physical goods and put them in the blockchain, which means nothing?
Ship them to a secure place and get an NFT that represents it and sell the NFT that represents the ownership, just like my stock. Scroll it up. There's a big piece of paper that represents my stock in a company.
Okay, that's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. So what he just said is he thinks if you're in the if you're a collector, right? And I'm a collector, so I collect Marvel collectibles. I like reproductions of like props, so like Iron Man helmets or Captain America's helmet or the Black Panther helmet. I have those. I collect movies, so I have quite a large Blu-ray DVD collection. What he is saying is instead of me, who is a collector, wanting to buy something on eBay, like a rare Roger Corman Fantastic Four, which I did buy last month, Roger Corman Fantastic Four Blu-ray, instead of actually wanting to buy that and receive it, you know, like a transaction, he's saying instead, the collectible will then be shipped to some secure location, I don't know, like a safe at a bank, like in a safe deposit box, and I'll get an NFT that says, yeah, you own this collectible. Why would I want that? I don't want an NFT that says I own a collectible. I want the fucking collectible. Jesus Christ. How stupid is this guy? NFTs are the biggest solution in search of a problem ever, because every NFT person gives me a different use case that they think it'd be great for, and they're all bad in completely different ways. H. Baird says, in like 20 years when 3D printers are basically replicators, I can see something like an NFT being a way of making items unique. Storing when they're created or recycled, and could be a way to trade artwork or even commodities. But if we had 3D printers that were replicators, why would we need the artificial scarcity of an NFTs type system? That doesn't make sense. I don't want things to be commodified when there is a hypothetically unlimited amount. Chaos for Now says, I can see NFTs being useful for metaverse things. No, the metaverse is stupid. Bringing virtual objects between worlds, but the problem is I doubt the AAA companies will ever develop an open standard. They won't. Why would they? It's not in their best interest. And the metaverse is stupid. I say this as someone who likes VR. I love VR. The whole Facebook metaverse bullshit is the worst corporatized, financialized version of VR. It's dog shit.
The mercantile exchange, like we're gonna get into a place, this is why people are underestimating NFTs. NFTs are incredible technologies. So my friend, you're gonna be able to eventually...
It's literally a fucking ledger. It's an immutable ledger. That's all it is.
Ship your stuff to a place, the physical stuff, and then sell the NFT that represents it, and the next person is gonna own it, and they could claim it. They could say, send it in, cash it in. I'm taking my NFT, send me the thing.
Why would you want a collectible and not have the collectible? It's a collectible. You collect them, you have them. You collect them? Like, let's say I have Action Comics #1. I have Action Comics #1. Why would I not want it to physically have in my hands? Why wouldn't I want it? Why would I want an NFT? I just want the fucking comic! Probably Cthulhu says, a secure location that definitely won't have the object resold under the same pretense. It's a reprint, guys. You think I'd have a fucking original Action Comics #1 and I wouldn't be a fucking millionaire? It's a goddamn reprint from like 3 years ago. It's a good reprint, though. They reprinted all the ads and stuff. Narnia Owl says, reminds me of the Ubisoft PR complaining that gamers are too stupid to understand the potential. No, we understand it perfectly. That's why we're saying no. Yeah. You'll send me an NFT of the comic for it? Yeah, sure. You can buy this for $50. I do like this reprint, though. It's printed on the similar style paper that the original was printed on. Like, it's not glossy. Which I normally prefer glossy, but, you know, it's more for old-style comics like this. I like that older newspaper print feel. Anyway. Adia Blue says, may I introduce the permission system of Second Life, the OG metaverse that is real and pretty okay, and actually real items are stamped as transferable, editable, and copyable. The author stamps something they make with one or all of these permissions. An immense marketplace is born. No NFTs. That's the thing. None of the things that they're saying NFTs can be used for need to be NFTs. The metaverse has already existed. Second Life exists. PlayStation Home existed. VR Chat exists. These things exist. Without NFTs, without Facebook sticking its dick in there, who cares?
The comic book, the sports card. But like, this is gonna be on the blockchain. Like, this is gonna be on the blockchain. Like, this is gonna be on the blockchain.
And?
Like, it's gonna be in a secure place, just like the art is in Morocco, just like those armored cars, just like the stock certificates. Like, people are missing the point. Just learn about...
We aren't missing the point. You think that other people are primarily interested in collectibles for resale value, when the actual market is people who want collectibles because they like the thing that they are collecting. That is the issue. I do not buy a Blu-ray or whatever because I want to resell it later necessarily. Have I sold Blu-rays? Yeah, like when I get copies of things, or if I upgrade to like a 4K and I want to get rid of the Blu-ray, I take it to the local resell place and I get store credit and then I buy other Blu-rays. I lose money, but I don't care because I didn't buy them as an investment. I bought them because I enjoy them. Rachology says, I'll shut up after this. For all NFT bros talk of innovation and disruption and how old standards of value are for dumb people who can't keep up with their big brains, all their iconography for digital currency is of literal coins, and this dude just pointed to the embodiment of the traditional value hanging on his wall and said that's why he saw NFTs coming. They all seem very desperate to be taken seriously by the organizations they keep saying they're better than. Zero V Streaming says, do you think most people who talk about blockchain even know what the fuck it is? This guy probably does, in my opinion. This guy is a scammer. He mints his own NFTs and sells them. He wants to make people think they are valuable, so he does this. Old enough to know better now, thanks for 21 months, says, my coworker disclosed she has over 12K in Funko Pops at her house. That's a sizable collection. You know, I don't like Funko Pops. I own some because I used to get Loot Crate, so I have some. I don't have any on this shelf. There might be packed away somewhere because I don't really like how they look. I'm not a fan of Funko Pops, but at least they're an actual physical thing that she's collecting. If she likes them and they bring her joy, fine, whatever.
This blockchain, learn about what NFTs as a whole mean. Whether Ethereum wins, whether Solana wins, the macro concept. It didn't matter that Ask Jeeves failed. Seth used Google today. Got it? That's it, Seth. You used a search engine. If I was doing this show in 95, I couldn't tell you which search engine was gonna win. I would have said Yahoo. The way you can do it is by learning.
Search engines are useful.
How to trade NFTs now, which will prepare you when you actually are taking your physical goods and NFTing them. You like that? How cool is that? Right? That's my Twitter stock. It's my storage. It's it. All of eBay as we know it is gonna be that. Because there's no fraud. You know how fucked up and how hard it is?
What? There's, per capita, there's more fraud in the NFT market than almost any other market on the planet. We just got done, before this segment, talking about the largest seizure of assets in history by the State Department in the United States, and it was of cryptocurrency because the scams in the crypto space are so pervasive, and you somehow think involving crypto and NFTs into eBay-like collectible transactions is going to reduce fraud? No!
To sell shit on the internet, getting paid, they cancel it, shipping it. No. People don't see the chess moves.
It's not a chess move to say, we'll remove all fraud. How do we remove fraud? You just won't ever actually get the item. You'll get a space on the blockchain that says you own the item, but you'll never actually get it. Boy, that just sounds like fraud with extra steps. Nah, you just don't get it.
As much as sold on eBay, with no friction, just click, 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 it compounds the volume. Do you know how many people have tons of good shit in their house that they don't want to sell on eBay because it's hard? But if it's just an NFT, and in 20 years, companies are gonna come to your house and just take all your shit and send it to their place. You know how many people buy on eBay just to resell on eBay because somebody fucked up and sold it too cheap? So I'm just gonna buy the NFT, sit on it and relist it. Somebody bought a fucking GaryVee today on VFriends, relisted and sold it in 3 hours. Made $35,000. It's gonna.
Once again, it's all coming down to speculation. This has nothing to do with the actual value or anything of like why someone wants something. How much can we trick people into buying it for? This is not a utility. This is you being a fucking leech, Gary. India Owl says, we'll drain the NFT swamp and it'll make the Pepes pay for it.
It can happen to everything in the world, physical and digital. The blockchain fixes a lot of the inefficiencies of the world. Just like the credit card came along and...
The inefficiencies of the world. It's inefficient for me to want to physically own the things I buy? Go fuck yourself, Gary. H. Baird says, just wait until they make NFTs out of chess moves. It would make a tournament very interesting.
And fixed cash, but all the 80-year-olds watching right now will be like, yeah, we didn't want the credit card.
Bittergrin says, I'm honestly surprised Trump hasn't started selling his fan base NFTs yet.
Now 35-year-olds are like, no credit card, are you fucking idiot? The same way these 40-year-olds that are watching around saying, no way NFTs. Like, that's how I view them. If you're 40 and you're like, no way NFTs, you don't realize the technology matters so much that you're just your grandfather 50.
Then explain the technology and why it matters and why trading monkey pictures is somehow directly related to the actual technology and therefore makes the monkeys valuable.
Years ago saying I'll never use a credit card, and then does. I don't think people understand when something comes along that changes the world. The internet changed everything. The blockchain changes everything.
Here's the thing. I wasn't alive when the internet was just becoming like a thing that people talked about, or at the very least I wasn't, tuned into those conversations. I don't think people had to sit down in a long video like this, not to know where they'd even post it. YouTube didn't exist yet. But, I don't think people had to sit down and go, this is going to change the world, it's going to change everything, it's going to change everything, it's going to change everything. They might say, this is going to change everything, here's how. And then they would say, look, you can do stocks on this, you can check the weather, you can look at news, you can search information, you can share mail with people instantaneously in this thing called electronic mail. They don't just say, it'll change the world, because it'll change the world. They have very specific use cases that everyone universally can look at and go, okay. So dumb.
Blockchains, Ethereum, Solana, I don't know. Which projects? Bored Ape, VFriends, Cool Cats, Alien Friends, World of Women, I don't know. I just know that the same way I was a great investor in Web 2.0, because I have great people skills and understand who's got it. That's why I think I'll be a good investor. And as far as me,
Princess Amelia says, no, Hannah, people did do that shit back in the 90s. The result, the .com bubble. That's fair. Brew Zerker says, Jake's demon debate has imploded because the guy is just throwing playground insults. Okay, I gotta look at this for a sec. I'm very curious. Multiple people have said something about it. So I need to know, is he still there?
Now it's just talking to your friends, right? You think men don't talk to their friends? What the fuck are you talking about, man? Of course men talk to their friends.
Yeah, but I mean, talking to them about your problems and stuff, and
yeah, they do
trying to get down to
about
it.
their problems.
Well, what's a good example? Do you have any problems right now you want to talk about?
No.
No, you good? You have no problems in your life?
None that I'm going to talk about with an idiot like you.
Oh, but I mean, maybe you could feel better about yourself, because maybe you'd be like, I got this problem. And I'm like, man, I wish I had that problem.
Okay, so here's one of my big problems in life. One of my big problems in life is that the Twitch sphere is filled with stupid-ass progressives.
Damn, dude. If only they weren't as popular as they were. How do we stop this?
They ran all the cons out. It's not that they're popular, they just mass report.
Damn, how do we... Oh. Well.
Can you name a progressive that was more popular than Nick Fuentes on Twitch?
Hassan. way more popular. Right now.
And how long...
He's live right now.
Yeah, and how long has Hassan been on?
Wait, why are we talking about Nick Fuentes? Talk about demons, bro.
Not anymore. We went way off that when you brought up psychology.
Vosh, way more popular.
No, Vosh was not more popular.
What do you mean was? He's currently more popular. What does that have to do with anything?
What do you mean? Vosh
he's currently more popular than Nick Fuentes was.
Vosh isn't on Twitch, you twit. What are you talking about?
Right, he's also banned. I thought there was only a right-wing ban. I thought they only banned the right-wingers. Oh, shit.
I said that the left-wingers mass report the right-wing channel.
Well, I'm fucking me.
Brian Collins asked,
There's a reason I don't do debates. These people are fucking insufferable.
how do you find smaller projects that actually have potential to be a long-term play and not a cash grab?
I spend enormous amounts of time on Twitter and Discord, and I guess, I'm in a place in my career where...
Isn't Vosh off Twitch? Yeah, I think so. He got brought back for a little while, and now he's gone again or something? I don't know. I don't watch him, so no idea.
GaryVee, I can DM the creator and be like, hey, can you get on Zoom for 15 minutes? And I can talk to them, and I did 2 of those yesterday, and one I'll never invest in, and the other one I might. Intuition, doing the investing.
Cloud Wizard, thanks for Prime. Spare Keys says that idea from Gary earlier that NFTs are important because they're on the blockchain follows the same line of thought of, important people come from Rome, and Rome is important for metaphysical reasons instead of, Rome is important because important people live there. Thanks, Dan Olson, for that analogy. Yeah, Dan Olson's 2-hour magnum opus. Line goes up. Check it out, Folding Ideas on YouTube.
But for everybody who's watching, you gotta take some chances. Play with money you can't afford to lose. Play, taste. But what I told you is a big one. Too many people guess on mint. Watching for a month and seeing that something tripled, but it's still $900, not $300, but there's some good action there. Those are good projects to get into.
Again, he's literally just talking about speculative growth. This has nothing to do with the fundamentals of NFTs, or why NFTs are popular, or what they could potentially do in the future. This is entirely about the speculative growth of a hypothetical asset on the blockchain. Adia Blue says, praise Hannah, fuck debates, reject Trud, embrace Dussy.
Nevzer8 asks, how should we take advantage of this moment when we're early in the NFT space, before 99% of the world joins?
You are not early! You're not early! You're not early! NFTs, you're not fucking early! Everyone's heard of NFTs! You're not early! They just suck!
Being thoughtful, this is Internet 95, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I literally saw a post on one of the cryptocurrency subreddits the other day where someone was like, guys, we're so early, every time I talk to people about crypto, they ask me, isn't that a scam? Like, they don't even know how good it is. And it's like, no, you're not early. Crypto's been around since like 2011, 2012. I don't even remember exactly when Bitcoin went online. But like, you're not early. People are aware of crypto and NFTs. They just think it's a fucking scam. Hi, Oliver. Hi, baby. Is he being problematic?
No.
Oh, hi,
He's
baby.
being a sweet boy.
Oh, okay.
We missed you.
I miss you too.
So don't get crazy, don't be a gambler,
Cass.
be a strategist, but lean into
No matter what, if you're investing in cryptocurrency, and even using the word investing is yikesy on this, if you're going to put money into cryptocurrency or NFTs, you're inherently gambling. Honestly, the same is true even if you're in investing stocks, if you're going to day trade, which I don't recommend. But, like, especially in crypto and NFTs, which are incredibly volatile speculation bubbles, in my opinion, it's gambling. You're gambling. It's a gamble. Even if you think you're making educated guesses in terms of gambling, maybe you could do something akin to counting cards or whatever, but the deck, it's not one deck. It's a deck with like 26 different sets of cards in it that you're trying to count. You might get a little better than random chance, but not that much better.
this self-awareness. You might not be good
Also,
at running
Father.
a project, but you might be good at PR, so why don't you start doing PR for the best projects? Look at Guy Osseri, one of the greatest managers of all time. Madonna, U2. What did he do? He didn't launch a project. He manages Bored Ape. Brilliant. I'm an operator. I build big fucking companies. You know Big VaynerX is now? Wine Library, Empathy Crush, like this is what I do. VeeFriends, I build companies, so I'm gonna operate. But you might be a designer, and you know that you can design rad shit, but you need to find a partner who's a promoter to create demand. You know how many artists are hitting me up like, what do I do, Gary? I'm like, you create demand. They're like, I don't know how. I'm like, that's why there used to be, and there still is, and there should be, art galleries. They create the demand. That's why you give up 50% of your action to them. All these people are like, I'm gonna keep all the action. I'm like, you don't know how to create demand. And so what do? You're gonna pay some influencers to tweet? Those influencers are losing their fucking reputations behind the scenes. Couldn't pay me $40 trillion to promote a fucking project.
So he just admitted that no amount of payment would get him to promote an NFT project because they're so volatile, but he's telling other people to get into these projects. My brain hurts.
Crypto Wasteland asks, what are some utilities that you'd like to see projects provide their holders in the coming years?
Everything. Free physical goods instead of just free NFTs, right? Kind of like what I'm doing with GiftGoat. Access to parties, percentages of royalties and other things. Like, you can do anything. They're just contracts. I've thought about buying an island and calling it VeeFriends Island.
What is with crypto bros and wanting to buy fucking islands? Islands are not that great to own. You know how much money it takes to live on an island? Too much. Nick says, does that voice sound like Samir Bhavani? I don't think his voice sounds the same.
Like the Richard Branson thing. And if you're a V-Friends holder, you can come. And if not, you can't. It's cool. You can do anything. Look at what I'm doing with, Flyfish Club. The token is the member.
Mr. Beast revealed that Gary had pooled rich influencers into a call to promote CryptoPunks. That's not surprising to me.
Membership club. You used to pay $12,000 a month for one-time fee and then monthly fees for a country club. But now it's a token. So now you can go, enjoy it, maybe you move, and you sell it for a profit. It's an asset. People are underestimating the technology. You are underestimating technology. It's not right click and save. I can make pretend I own this building. I own this building. I take a picture. More people fake.
Okay, but if you're selling a picture of a building, which is more akin to what we're doing in terms of the NFTs, and I take a picture of your picture that's exactly a one-to-one copy of the picture, then I also own the picture. It's absolutely fungible.
On pictures than you do on blockchain. You're underestimating technology because you're in a point in your life right now where you just don't want to do the 50 hours of homework, and I respect that.
No, believe me, I've spent plenty of time looking at crypto stuff. It's a scam. It's a big scheme to steal money from people legally.
And you don't have to. I underestimate technologies all the time. But if you're watching this show, you probably are either curious or in it. And continued homework, education is what's gonna get you to where you need to go to. But me included, and everybody else at the tippy tops of this game, we are all underestimating this. As right as I was about the internet, I underestimated it. I definitely didn't think in 1995 that I would press a button on a mobile device and have a car sitting there for me in 2 seconds. I just didn't. I didn't see people renting out their houses instead of hotels. When big technologies come, crazy shit happens. Crazy shit's about to happen. For the cynics, your points are well taken. Too much greed, too much short behavior. People are gonna get smashed, like they did on Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies getting smashed doesn't mean that stuffed animals got smashed. It's one of the biggest economies in the, go.
NFTs as a whole are the Beanie Baby, though. The general public does not associate NFTs as like your uncle or your grandma or someone who's just a member of the general public, or your cousin or whoever who doesn't follow NFT stuff or crypto anything. They don't look at a thing and go, oh, that's a bored ape, or oh, that's a lazy lion. To these people, to the general public, every NFT is just an NFT. They don't care about the story or the narrative behind that particular NFT project. NFTs are all Beanie Babies. Period.
It's insane how much success stuffed animals have in our society.
And yes, Beanie Babies are at least real things.
And so the next one comes along. NFTs are stuffed animals. The individual projects, time will tell on who's going to win, but I hope there's a lot of people out there like me that realize, back to the first question, if you fail, your reputation's ruined forever. And if that's not a motivator, I don't know what the fuck is. Thanks for listening and watching to Ask Gary Vee, episode 333. 334 is gonna be soon because I'm back and doing this. I know I've been doing a ton of NFT stuff since it's new year. We'll do some other stuff. Look for my Twitter where I tweet out the questions.
This guy's a scumbag. Genuinely, I don't know how much he even really believes in NFT, but he certainly invested in it, and he certainly makes money if he convinces other people to put money into it. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Don't like him. Let's move on.